So the 2,300-mile walk for peace. I mean, what does it even take to walk across America? Well, we're about to find out. Let's dive into the story behind this absolutely incredible journey.
Okay, just for a second, imagine setting out on foot to cross the entire country. Just you, the road, the changing landscapes. Think about the sheer physical and mental strength that would take. We're talking about a journey that pushes you to your absolute limits.
And this isn't, just some weekend hike. No way. We're talking about walking for 120 days consecutively. That's 4 months, every single day, through fall, through winter, all the way into spring. Every step is like a meditation, and every town they pass through is a brand new chapter.
So you have to ask, right? This is way more than just a physical challenge. It's a mission. What on earth could possibly motivate someone to take on a journey like this?
All right, so let's get into it. What exactly is this walk all about, and what's the mission behind the journey? Well, at its core, this is the Walk for Peace. It's basically a 2,300-mile journey by a group of Buddhist monks, and their whole goal is to promote peace, loving kindness, and compassion. Simple as that. And the scale here is just wow. They started way back on October 26th in Fort Worth, Texas. As of late December, which was day 66, they'd already made it all the way to Georgia. And the final destination? That's Washington, D.C., and they're aiming to get there by February 2026.
One of the monks, Venerable Panakara, really put it perfectly. He said, "We are walking for peace, loving kindness, and compassion to all people, to encourage individuals and communities to cultivate peace within themselves." So it's not just about them walking, it's about inspiring all of us to find that peace inside, with the hope that it'll ripple outwards.
So who are these travelers exactly? Well, it's a group of about 24 Buddhist monks. But they're not walking alone. They've got their loyal rescue dog, Aloka, with them. And get this, Aloka has become a bit of a star online. People know him as #Aloka the Peace Dog.
But, a journal this long is bound to have its challenges. And for this group, the road held an unexpected danger that would change everything.
I mean, this trek has absolutely not been without danger. The monks, they were ready for sore feet, for being tired, but there was no way they could have prepared for the tragedy that hit them. So here's what happened. They were near Houston. A truck struck their escort vehicle from behind. That escort vehicle was then pushed right into 2 of the monks. The injuries were incredibly serious. In fact, one monk, Fra Ajarn Mahadam Pamasan, tragically lost his leg. The Dayton Interim Police Chief Shane Burley explained what happened. He said the truck just didn't notice how slow the vehicle was going. It struck the escort vehicle in the rear left, pushed the escort into 2 of the monks. It just paints such a stark picture of how fast something like this can happen and change everything in an instant. But in the wake of this awful tragedy, something pretty amazing started to happen. As word got out about the walk and the accident, the public response, well, it was massive. The support just started pouring in, both on the streets and online. Just look at this number, over 400,000 people. That's how many followers are now tracking their journey on social media. It's just astonishing. And it's not just online, right? There are 2 kinds of support happening here. You've got the massive social media following with live streams and daily posts, but then there's the roadside support. We're talking crowds of hundreds of people showing up, offering food and water. Even local police have started giving them escorts to make sure they're safe. And these crowds just kept getting bigger and bigger. By the time the monks got to Georgia, it was huge. In Hogansville, you had over 500 people turn out. Then in Fayette County, that number jumped to over 1,000. That was the biggest crowd they'd seen on the entire walk. One supporter in Georgia said something that really hits home. They said it's reminiscent of the civil rights movement. We need peace and we need joy together. For so many people, this has become way more than just a walk. It's a real movement. So a movement like this is going to bring people together from all kinds of different backgrounds. And that means navigating different perspectives. So how does that play out? Well, the monks are really clear about one thing. Their message isn't about politics, and it's not about trying to convert anyone to a different religion. It's all about universal unity. And this led to some really interesting conversations. For example, they met a former pastor who had a different perspective. So the monk's message is that peace comes from within. It's this universal, non-religious call for unity. The pastor's view, coming from his own background, was that peace ultimately comes through Christianity. It wasn't an argument, though. It was just a respectful dialogue, a sharing of different viewpoints on how to find peace.
So even with the hardships, the journey goes on. Let's talk about the road ahead for them. What's amazing is that even after that horrible accident, they are persevering. The monks are continuing their walk. And it's not just that, they're actually planning to visit their injured brother in Snellville, Georgia. I mean, that really proves their commitment, doesn't it? So after they leave Georgia, the walk heads north. They'll be going through North Carolina and Virginia, with Washington, D.C. as the final destination. The end of the road is in sight. It really makes you think, doesn't it? If one simple walk can inspire thousands and thousands of people to gather in peace, what comes next? What could happen if more of us decided to take that first step?